Great. Alright, this should be part 4. Doing all the Govermeckers for like a bonus episode. World history. If I had to sum it up in one sentence, it might be humans suck. They just can't get along. War, slavery, prejudice, torture, subjugation. Really, it's a miracle we have any good in us at all. I consider more history tests to be fairly straightforward. Or I consider most history tests to be fairly straightforward. Someone did something stupid, someone died for it, someone got angry because of that, someone did something stupid. Rinse and repeat, cycle after cycle. What was I doing? Oh right, I was supposed to be studying. Can't bring myself to care enough to keep reading. I decided to just get ready for bed. Might as well sleep early. Good night, world. It'll be time for another long day. Here's my fire. When I wake up, I'm almost dizzy with grogginess. So what happens if you suddenly change your sleep schedule? I drag myself out of bed for a quick shower before idly settling onto the couch. 5:41 a.m. What do people even do this early in the morning? I guess there are those people who make their beds, work out, and eat a hearty breakfast like ideal productive human beings. But nah, I'm more partial to lying around, maybe watching TV. That sounds nice. I lazily reach over. My fingertips barely skim over the buttons of the remote. I roll closer, and after some trial and error, manage to switch the TV on. In a frenzy after the sudden disappearance of Stu's 2 students, just 2 days apart. Isamu Imperial Boarding Academy, known for its prestigious background and powerful connections with established corporations like Lemnis Gate and Way Forward, is now under the nation's eye as it struggles to cope with these new accusations. I freeze on the couch as footage of the all-too-familiar campus dances on the screen. Disappearances at the academy? Since when did this happen? Civilians, if you manage to see these missing persons, notify the authorities immediately. It is our duty to keep this city safe. Here are their photographs. Midori Maino, left, and Toma Hayashi, right. What was Natsuki's last name? I'd take a picture of this. Don't break the recording! Wait, you know what? Nope. Yay! Didn't break the recording. I don't think. No, it didn't. Hey! Okay. I snatch the remote, jamming at the power button until the TV finally blinks. The media and their sensationalist headlines. Shameful. Stupid. Can't believe anything they say. Why are my fingers still shaking? I clasp my hands against my chest, squeezing my eyes shut. Disappearances at the academy. Probably just some spoiled kids that decided to run off and elope with their significant other for 3 weeks. Of 3 weeks. News always exaggerates things anyway. I fell back against the couch, suddenly feeling extremely lazy. Hey, sunlight. Yama. Hello? Are you alive? Rui's a big girl. She can open the door by herself. I'm gonna call the morgue. You know what happens in morgues? Nothing. Because they're full of dead people. You get bored very quickly. Oh, and you'd probably die from suffocation. Damn it, Rui. Something called a keypad. Activating a foghorn in 3, 2, 1. I groan in the general direction of my door. Sorry, I don't speak, idiot. What was that? Meh. You know, if this was a zombie apocalypse, you'd be long dead. You're scarier than a zombie, actually. If I'm scarier than a zombie, what does that make you? Typical Rui. Use the keypad, woman. It's there for a reason. But why do that when I can make you suffer? What a true friend. Let me guess, you forgot. Oh, please. Your code is the stupidest possible code to exist on the planet. Even Mr. Ryota pointed out how stupid it was. He's not. It's 2, Mr. 14789. It's just an L. Capital L. Come on, lazy butt. Get out of bed. Finally amble to the door and pull it open, pretending to grumble all the while. Truthfully, I'm enjoying our little sparring match. Morning, sleepy. What? It was an odd reaction. Nothing. Her averted gaze and flushed cheeks prompt me to run a quick check. Nothing on my face. I'm in my pajamas, I guess, but they're decent. Rui's seen me in them before. I absently run a finger over my lips, trying to see if there's anything in my teeth. Nope. Don't do that. Don't do what? Don't take so long. Duh. Let's go to school. Check my... It's 7:22 a.m. I know how to read a clock. I'm not stupid. I wait for the inevitable, unlike you. It doesn't come. Just get ready, okay? We need to make a stop on the way. What kind of stop? Why do you always have to ask so many questions? Jeez. She reaches for my wrist, but suddenly jerks back as if I'm covered with poison. Let's go! Raised an eyebrow, smirking at her dramatic fluster. In my pajamas? Get dressed, right now. Sir, yes, sir. I stride easily towards my room, leaving her fuming. What is her deal? It only takes a few seconds to throw on my uniform. Barely stepped into the room before I'm out again. When I return to Rui, I notice she's regained her composure. I have to admit that it's fairly impressive that she can master herself in such a short amount of time. Took you long enough. Say that like you were waiting forever. I lean closer, raising an eyebrow. Or did you want to? What? Did she want to wait forever? I don't get it. I playfully poke her forehead in an attempt to put her at ease. I really need to learn to keep my mouth shut. Nothing good will come from saying things like that. I just have to look so cute when she's angry. Let's go. She marches out the door without a backward glance. Rui refuses to speak with me, even as we exit the apartment complex and head into the street. It takes me a moment to realize that we're on a complete detour. Instead of leading me to the academy, Rui stops by the main street. The city's fairly quiet this time of day. Excluding the handful of cars that roar down the road in hectic commute, it's completely silent. Almost eerily so. Hey, it's okay, no buses. Buses? She fixes me with a searching look for a second. Then out of nowhere, her eyes spring wide open. They're after us, Agent Ishimoto! Run! She bolts down the street without warning. Never seen her run so fast in my life. In her life. It spurs me to sprint after her, even though there's no visible threat. At least not from what I can tell. What on earth has possessed this crazy girl? I guess we don't find out until much, much later, unless you're A, super observant, or B, want to see what is actually happening. Rui's speed picks up until we're precariously weaving around benches, street lamps, and other miscellaneous items. I can easily keep up, being a track and all. Rui's clearly inexperienced. If she stays at this pace, she'll probably end up hurting herself. I find Rui sprawled on the ground, gingerly nursing her ankle. You okay? What, are you blind? You're the one who tripped. Why are you calling me blind? I'm not the one who asks, are you okay, to someone who's clearly in pain. She attempts to struggle to her feet, crumples to the ground with a pained cry. Akira. Instinctively catch her arm. It's unexpectedly slender. I assumed that she would have developed some muscle from how often she likes to hit me. Whoever gave you the brilliant idea to tear down the street like a madwoman anyway? Shut up and help me before we're late to school. If you were really worried about that, we shouldn't have come here. We shouldn't have come here in the first place. Come on already, idiot. Girls, I'll never understand them. Ever. Regardless, I kneel down, pull Rui's arm around my shoulder, slowly start to stand. It would have worked well, but our height difference is too substantial. She's clearly uncomfortable with her arm hitched above her head. This isn't working. Brilliant deduction, Sherlock. It is, for a brain as tiny as yours. You know, maybe I should just leave you here. You wouldn't. I sigh, lowering her back to the ground. She's right, I wouldn't. So somehow, have to get her to school. Carrying her, maybe? She's wearing a skirt. Piggyback ride might be too difficult. I could try the tried and true potato sack style, but there wouldn't really be any way of putting her down without injuring her ankle. The only viable option is carrying her bridal style, which comes with problems of its own. A lot of them. Sending wrong messages, being close to Rui, confusing not only her, but also myself. Everything I've sworn not to do. Now, that's a very important phrase to remember. Everything I've sworn not to do. It's 7:50. Not my fault you're so clumsy. Just hurry up. Well, doesn't look like there's any way out of it. Just have to get it over with. I stoop down, slipping one arm beneath her knees and the other around her back. Rui's breath catches slightly and she instinctively wraps her arms around my neck. I lean her slight weight against my chest and lift her into the air. She grips me a little tighter, pulling our faces precariously close. The gentle wash of her breath on my cheek startles me forward. Since when are you so heavy? Since when were you so weak? I duck for a second, pretending to drop her. She squeaks, clutching onto me for dear life. I'm sorry, what was that? You're strong. You're plenty strong. Don't drop me. I can't help but chuckle at that. She idyllically leans her head against my chest, her face open in curiosity. Feels comfortable. Too comfortable. What are you doing? She closes her eyes, and for a split second I'm terrified that she'll say something terribly sappy. She's trying to find your heartbeat. Looks like you don't have one. Classic Rui. You sure you're looking in the right place? What? Remember who flunked human anatomy? I didn't flunk. I just had other strengths. Like sleeping. You were the one who always got in trouble for napping. Wait, what were we doing in the same class? She's a year under us. She suddenly tugs on my sleeve, glancing around. What is it? We should go around. Why? We're almost there. Because my sixth sense is tingling. I don't have a sixth sense. You don't even have five. I only smirk at this retort, continue toward the school entrance, but Rui tugs at my ear. Ow! Really? Take me around. Why don't I just dump you here? I like that idea much more. You can't dump a lady on the ground. Great, I'll have no issue dumping you. Hey! She wallops me in the chest and I stumble forward coughing. My back, woman! Are you trying to kill me? That's 2 womans in one morning. Oh, grow up, you big baby. She pats my chest. Which feels even weirder. I'll dump you. What? I'll do it. Fine, I'll behave. I obligingly take her around the path outside the gate. So, what exactly is this detour for? Enjoying the fresh air before we head to school. And we had to go all the way to the main street to do that. Sometimes you just gotta do things because you can, Yama. Easy for you to say when you're the one being carried. Rui suddenly yanks on my collar, staring over my shoulder. Wait, is that... I choke at her tight hold. Thankfully, she promptly releases me. Sorry. You really are trying to kill me, aren't you? No, I just... She points wordlessly at the school entrance. Lo and behold, it's none other than Misaki Kazuhaya, standing at the gate, scrolling casually through her phone. She seems completely oblivious to the throngs of students peering at her in a mix of admiration, jealousy, and contempt. Hooray! Welcome to Snooty Schools. I'll just get to class. Wait. Rui and Misaki are in the same area. Oh, perfect. Time to bring this needless drama to an end. Let's go say hi. Let's not. Well, when I'm carrying you, you go where I go. I guess I'm getting off. She disentangles herself and steps away, her weight evenly distributed on her feet. Are you being serious right now? Yeah, I am. I meant what I said yesterday, Yama. How's she supposed to know what to fix if you don't tell her? Because right now, she doesn't even think that anything's wrong. The first step is getting her to realize that. I don't really understand. Yeah, I kind of figured. It's okay, don't worry too much about it. I'm off to class now, okay? See you late. Really? Uh-oh, looks like someone got off her phone. This should be interesting. It is you. How long has it been? You saw me yesterday, didn't you? You should have said hello. I was speaking with Yami yesterday about Twitter. I was wondering if you'd like to create an account so we can keep... But Rui, after simply staring at her in silence, breezes away without a word. She leaves Misaki still grinning, holding up her phone with a half-formed sentence spilling out of her mouth. In touch, Rui? But she doesn't stop. She keeps marching right through the door of the classroom building. Misaki blinks for a moment, as if the gears in her brain have suddenly ground to a halt. Morning. Yes, good morning. Is everything alright? She's not sick, is she? Nah. Why did she act that way? Girl drama. I did not sign up for this. The two people who should be my best friends are ignoring each other. Or at least one is ignoring the other. It's me. She seems unhappy with you. You should talk to her. Unhappy with me? Why? Like I said, beats me. Let me see. One sec. I'll run a quick search. Her thumb blurs over her phone in a whirlwind. Practically see smoke trailing from the machine. Alright. Two girls, once very close, now ignoring or fighting with each other. Oh. I should have expected that. No. Whatever you think it is, it's wrong. What is it? She's scared, Yama. Scared that I've come to steal you away from her and claim you as my own. What? How could I be so blind? Of course this might happen. She's jealous because I might endanger your friendship or even attempt to seduce you and thus leave her alone. I think you should stop turning to the internet for everything, Miki. She's already in her own little world. Ridiculous. As if I'm actually in love with you. I'll clear this up with her as soon as possible. Gee, thanks for shattering my manly ego, Misaki. Maybe if they actually can get a decent conversation together, the sacrifice will be worth it. I can only sigh as I follow a mumbling Misaki to class. Going a long trek through the city with a 115-pound weight on my back, and this is what I get for it? Maybe I should have made Rui walk on her own. She certainly seemed fine by the time we ran into Miki. Wait a minute. She certainly seemed fine? Rui walked to class without a problem. Didn't she just sprain her ankle? Badly? So badly that she needed to be carried? Actually, when I take a step back, everything's just downright fishy. Seemingly random detour to the main street. Seemingly random make-believe running sequence. A seemingly unavoidable bridal-style ride. All the pieces fall into place. Haha! Looks like I'll need to visit a certain blonde-haired troublemaker during lunch break. A certain Akira Karube. Classes get off to a dreary start. I don't want to do classes. Elizabeth glares at me through English, probably because the teacher had me recite from Edgar Allan Poe, and I found it so stupid I didn't even try to get the accent right. Sorry, Your Highness, we're not all bilingual like your perfect self. Then it's world history. Our teacher arrives in camouflage get-up, proudly waving Isamu's city flag, screaming at the top of his lungs. Okay, maggots, listen up. You think school's easy? Think this will be a cakewalk? Well, you're right. Cause this blasted place is going soft. Back in my day, we didn't have no study guides. Textbooks? We had to write them ourselves, upside down, uphill, and snow both ways. Oh, my peers seemed petrified. I only smile amusedly. Only all classes were like this. None of you have any excuse to get less than a 90 on your test. So help me if I stay single lady, I'll give you a taste of the old days. Yaiko is lighting beneath his desk, as if he wants to melt into the chair. The old days. The teacher's eyes flare with delight, as if he was waiting to be asked. That's right, them old days. They'd string us up by our ankles over a pit of hungry lions. Yaiko squeaks and buries himself under his desk. Do we even have lions in Japan? Alright, maggots, let's get this party started. Wait, is this gonna be this? Teacher thrusts a heavy finger at the board, sending the test to each of our desks. Oh, good. You got to 11:25, sissies. Then it's Judgment Day. With that, he flops on his chair, props his feet on the table, and stuffs his face into a raggy newspaper. I give the test a once-over. I should have studied more, but maybe I can bluff the right answers. This is the pop quiz. So, I guess if you watch the bonus episode, or episodes as it's seeming like it's going to be at this point, we go back and do this over and we learn where it comes from. But I know all the answers. Excuse me, at this point. What was Europe's rapid colonization of Africa after 1880 driven by? Well, I may have forgotten one. I think it was actually this. This is what I kept thinking, because I thought, like, you know, Europeans' colonization of Africa right during the Industrial Revolution. I assumed slavery, so I thought demand for workers. But it's this for some reason. I don't know. All of these questions are actually taken from a real life SAT 2 study guide, or flashcards or study guide. What does the ancient yin-yang Chinese symbol represent? No. Yes. Maybe like 25%. It's this. Right, the correct chronological order of at least 3 current world religions. I knew Buddhism came first, which only leaves this to be the answer. But I wasn't sure which came first, Christianity or Islam, because, like, I don't know, they both effectively had the same God. But what was the intention of China's Great Leap Forward? This one. Industrialize China's economy. Oh no, I actually forgot. I think it was this one, because I don't know what any of these words mean. Studying? Who needs studying? I got this in the bag. Okay, I got them alright still. Surprisingly, Yaika is the fastest writer of them all, trumping even Elizabeth. Out of curiosity, I steal a peek at his tests. Name. Calling people names is rude. Date? I'm not dating anyone right now. There's several ways that Russians prepared for the Cold War. They wore really big coats and took medicine every 6 hours. Describe how Hitler gained influence in Germany. They produced a lot of chocolate until they were the biggest candy factory in Asia. Is he for real? What major event incited the Japanese capitalization during World War II? The nuclear bomb. Oh, we almost got this one right. Yaiko. Time for sign language. Your answer on question 3 is wrong. He grins and shoots me a thumbs up. What major event incited the Japanese capitulation during World War II? The Rego movie premiere. Oh, I didn't catch that last time. So, like how they like to, I guess bite off of copyrighted stuff, or not bite off of it, but like alter it. It's the Lego movie premiere. During World War II, I don't even know if they had Legos back then. He raises his eyebrows at me. How's this? I nod encouragingly. now all of his answers will look dumb. That's more consistent. Return to my exam. Last question that remains is a long essay. Elaborate on one of the following historical themes with at least 3 specific examples from covered material. 1. Subjugation of humanity. 2. Economic inequalities or wealth disparity. 3. Role of religion in society. Well, this'll be easy. Select the first option and start rambling about how everything sucks and is unbelievably power hungry. It's the easiest essay I've ever written. Finished with plenty of time to spare. After handing my test, I take a moment to evaluate my surroundings. Oh, Yaiko's reached the essay. Perfect. Selected the second option, the economic gap between wealthy and poor. Let's take a look. I believe that the solution to all the conflicts and stuff between rich people and poor people is that they should try to understand each other. Like, rich people should need to realize the hardships of the poor and try to do something about it. And the poor need to understand that not all rich people are the same. That's all he pens before he turns in his test. Completely missed the point of the question, but that was an unusually sober answer considering he's, well, Yaiko. Rid of my entertainment, stare into space and think about nothing as classes continue on. Man, I gotta make it through this whole day. Misaki leaps to her feet, snatches up a backpack and storms to the classroom door. I hurriedly tap her on the shoulder. Where you off to? Huh? Track down Rui, of course. Sound like you're stalking prey. Who says I'm not? And obviously with no intention of slowing down, she barrels out of the room with a single purpose. As she does so, a group of girls race into the room, crowding around Elizabeth. Is this you, Elizabeth? You won the art contest. Gosh, is there anything you aren't good at? It's such an amazing painting. You're so cool. Elizabeth smiles at her groupies, unusually gentle. Thank you. She coughs delicately. Sorry, my throat's feeling a bit dry. Oh, stay right here. I'll get some tea for you. Hurry up, don't keep her waiting. Elizabeth smiles in appreciation as the group sprints out of the classroom. The whole display just makes me want to gag. Masuda comes roaring in. Cringe, expecting yet another sales pitch for the track team, but he crashed past me, grabbing one of my hapless classmates. You! Who, me? You started a bitter family feud, you ignorant whelp. What? I've never seen you in my life. You mess with my little bro, you mess with me. Come here. Masuda seizes the student's ear, drags him into the hallway, leaving a trail of gossiping students in his wake. Ha, weird. Never knew Masuda had a little brother. See you, dude. Where are you going? See applicants for my amazing club, of course. You interested in joining? It's called the Happy Club. Suddenly I'm very glad I have other plans. Have fun with that. He only beams. I will. And with that, he promptly disappears. It was oddly hectic for an ordinary school day. Well, at least it's convenient. Now I'm left to my own devices. Alright, Akira. Time to have a few words with you. Enter the cafeteria with laser focus, searching for the familiar head of blonde hair. I vaguely noticed Yaiko gesturing exaggeratedly to a few skeptical students, but I passed over them. After a few minutes of circling the cafeteria, I suddenly caught sight of my intended target. Supperoni, Sarge. She found you. I quickly whip around and come face to face with the object of my search, a bright-eyed girl bubbling with energy, as demonstrated by her tendency to bounce on the balls of her feet. Hey, Akira. It's been a while, Sarge. I can't help but sigh. I sense that the ensuing conversation will be very long and a difficult one. My name isn't Sarge. I never said it was. Why do you keep calling me Sarge? because Sarge is short for Sergeant. She stops, as if that's an adequate explanation. And I'm hungry, so let's get some food. She skips to the buffet table to swipe her card. This girl, it's impossible to get a straight answer out of her. Akira's an interesting case. She and Rui joined drama club last year. That's how they became friends, or so they claim. Didn't take long for them to become close. And this year, they're rooming together. Akira, well, if I had to describe her, I'd say she's free-spirited, doing her own thing, off in her own world. She doesn't really associate with us much, just Rui. She's a bit eccentric, though. I suppose in a refreshing way. I suppose. When we've gotten our food, Akira makes her way to an obscure corner of the cafeteria and digs through her bag, pulling out a green and white plaid blanket with a flourish. I present to you Annette Diana Hellenson, the 17th, which later I think becomes the 14th. Wait a minute. Maybe the 14th is that one's like grandmother, right? Maybe it was an older blanket. I don't remember. I craned my neck, trying to peek into her bag. Where? Here. She shakes the blanket. The blanket? Oh, don't be rude. How'd you feel if Annette Diana Hellenson the 17th called you the human all the time? Use your name. I'm not going through all that effort just to spare the feelings of an inanimate object. She frowns at me, but gently lays the blanket on the floor. Don't come crying if Annette Diana Hellenson the 17th extracts retribution on you for the grave insult you just made. I'm sure I'll live. Akira only shrugs and settles on the blanket. A few students in the background send us bewildering glances. Why don't we just sit at a table? Why don't we just sit on the ground? Chairs are meant to be sat on. So's the ground. What? Fine, you sit on the ground, I'll sit at the table. Akira sighs and obligingly stuffs Annette Diana Hellenson the 17th back into her bag. You know, if Rui and I are like peas in a pod, you're like this awkward leaf that's growing really far down the stem. I see you all the time, but we never actually hang out. It's not really fair. You choose not to hang out with us. Second thought, I'm not sure if I'd be able to handle Akira on a daily basis. Oh, Sarge, I never said it was your fault. Right. I gather myself as Akira takes a seat beside me and starts to dig in. The ankle incident. Just ask her about the ankle incident and this whole nightmare will be over. Something interesting happened today. Did you pretend that you were a cross-dressing duchess? What? Guess not. Too bad. That would have definitely been interesting. Most brains have interconnected neurons, but I'm beginning to think that Akira's brain is structured without rhyme or reason. No, Rui tripped. She hurt her ankle. Oh no! Well, I don't think she actually injured it. She was running around on it just a few minutes later. Did you carry her? Yeah. Piggyback? Why does that matter? Oh, the healing power of true love. How I envy your bond. You see, love is like antidepressants with herbal infusions. Neither of those things work. Most of the time, people just get involved so that they feel good. regardless of the actual result. But sometimes, if you're bonded truly deep, it can actually physically heal you. Only sometimes though, like maybe less than 0.0016%. Dude, that's pretty rare. I carried her bridal style, actually. Bridal? 10 times the healing power. 10 times the bond. Like a covalent bond, or iconic, depending on the properties, or ionic. Her way of thinking is impressive, honestly. I don't even know how she makes these associations. Look, Akira, can you just give me a straight answer? The angle of an answer is irrelevant, since an answer is an abstract concept and therefore is not subject to angles in the first place. Dude, Akira's kinda awesome. Did you have anything to do with Rui pretending to hurt her ankle? I plead the fifth. Isn't that American? Oh, right. I plead the 38th. Can only sigh at this. Kira definitely had something to do with it. If past examples are anything to go by, she probably formed an elaborate plan and managed to convince Rui to go along with it. Damn it! Look, I know Rui's your friend, but stop trying to matchmake us. Honestly, it's getting a little annoying. Just like how you pretend that you don't notice Rui's feelings. I take back everything I said about Akira being refreshing. She's not refreshing at all. She's a meddler. Look, it isn't exactly your business. Can you just stay out of it? Oh, but it is my business. More than you might think. That sounds ominous. Still, you'll end up hurting Rui. Do you want that? Why would Rui get hurt? Just let me deal with it, okay? It's already complicated enough. It doesn't have to be. And she's right. This is just too much trouble. Look, Akira, what you're doing will only end up hurting Rui. If you just want to bug me, that's fine, but leave her out of it. I scoop up my dishes and leave the table before she has a chance to speak. Maybe it's rude, but I'm not encouraging any delusional fantasies regarding Rui and me. I head back to the classroom, spending the rest of lunch period half-heartedly studying. Afternoon classes pass by uneventfully. Elizabeth seems to be in a good mood from the praise of her groupies. She completely ignores me instead of hassling me. Yaiko's unusually quiet. Even Misaki is all but silent. From her clouded expression, I guess her discussion with Rui didn't go too well. When the bell rings, I'm almost unsettled at how quiet the day was. The lull of the afternoon seems to settle in every crevice of the classroom, bringing a haze of sleep with it. The teacher's voice slips into an indiscernible drone as every student struggles to keep their eyes open for the few remaining minutes of school. Understood? Alright, homeroom dismissed. Everyone bolts to their feet and runs away. Only fourth day of school. Yay! Did you see the thing yesterday? My TV show? No, I tuned in for the live stream the moment it opened. Oh, it's the unexpected BFFs. So what'd you think? Well, when I saw that President Jay Graves spontaneously... Hey, spoilers! That's actually just what I was gonna say. You know, since Yama might not have seen it. Oh, right. How exceedingly generous of him. I thought it was entertaining as always. It was the best episode so far, wasn't it? It definitely was. No offense, but I don't think the bar is set very high. What's this, man? Did you get a real girlfriend? Oh, a wild Masato appears. Masato, my man, how was your vengeance? Wait, what? Some punk paid a group of boys to bully Masado's little brother because he hates Masado. Wait, what? But I bet that Masa gave him a taste of his own medicine. Hell yeah, I did. You pick a fight with one Kurogane, you pick a fight with all of them. Wait, won't you get in trouble for hitting him? He'll definitely tattle on you. Hit him? Nah, man. I locked him in a room and taught him the cluster decomposition theorem. Made him write a paper on it in one sitting. Somehow, that sounds a lot more horrifying than just getting beat up. Hi, I don't think we met. Who are you? I transferred here yesterday. Misaki Kazehaya at your service? She's super cool. She watches Governmaker, and she's a model. Ha, that's cool. Name's Masato Kurogane. I'm on the track team. He stops there. We wait for a moment, expecting a more elaborate introduction. And what? That's all that matters, ain't it? Not the fact that he's the president of the honors club, or one of the top students in the school, or a third year. I take it you enjoy track then? Hell yeah, track's like water. Without it, you die. Track is like air. Track is like fried chicken. That's some dedication. Yup. And I'm staying this way, or my name's Yama Ishimoto. That was uncalled for. Well, as long as you keep at it, I'm sure you can accomplish anything. Says every cliche movie ever. They ignore me and firmly shake hands. Looks like she's becoming friends with everyone. Everyone except Rui, ironically enough. So, how do you all know each other? She, Yama, and Rui are childhood friends, actually. Whoa, real? Why ain't Rui here then? An awkward silence falls between Misaki and I, with a hapless Yaiko in the middle. Huh. Now that you mention it, she should be here by now. You don't think she got called for cleanup duty, do you? We don't have cleanup duty, Yaiko. The school pays for janitors. Oh. Well, that would explain a lot. How many years has he been at the school again? Hold on. Someone give me a straight answer. Where's Rui? Misaki clears her throat and steels herself. We're not in the best of terms at the moment. But I'm working to resolve the issue as soon as possible. Masado's honest as fuck. You sound like you're debugging some code, Miki. But it's true, we're not getting along particularly well. Masado inches away from her, suddenly cautious. Huh, I see. See what? You guys were just getting along. Masado turns to Miki with a grave expression. I don't know, man. Something about you seems sus. Suspect or suspicious. That's kinda harsh, but at least he told her up front. What? Should have seen it earlier, but yeah, you're too nice. Don't you work in the modeling industry? Are you supposed to be all cutthroat and all that? It's not like I'm some kind of dastardly mastermind. And what's the deal with you and Rui? I'd like to know that myself. She's the one ignoring me. They both stare each other down. None of us budge. Hell, I don't know. I'm going to track. He strides out of the classroom without any farewells or apologies. That was strange. Sorry about that, Misaki. Masa is not usually like that. Maybe he ate something funny. I doubt it. Well, this just got awkward. First Rui, now Masado's pushing Miki out into the cold. Usually they're the warmest and most inclusive people I know. But this time, something saved me. Anything. There you go. That was convenient. Oh yeah, it's our, nerd friend. Cafe de la Paix, 5 p.m. Do not dare to be late or I shall dock your pay. Also, I insist you share your location with me. I'll go ahead and assume that this is from Shigure. Wait, isn't this on a volunteer basis? What kind of pay am I getting? And the final message. Wait a minute. Does your phone even support location sharing? The answer is immediate. Yes. But it's so old. Sometimes implements improve with age, Ishiyama, unlike your brain, I predict. Am I working for this woman again? Whatever. I mashed a few buttons to share my location with her. It's not like she'll break into my house and steal my stuff, right? Since she's a detective in an official capacity, she'd get into a lot of trouble. Wait, why am I legitimately entertaining this idea? This woman terrifies me. Dude, why are you smiling? Smiling? Grinning, as a matter of fact. Grimacing, not grinning. There's a big difference. Sorry, but something came up. Turns out that I have to go. Oh, that's fine. I have my club to go see. Oh, you have a club? Yeah, I just started it when I joined. It's called the Happy Club. I wish he would explain that beyond one sentence. It's the Happy Club. It's for depressed people. Sorry, but my work schedule limits my ability to participate in clubs. Oh, well, that makes sense. Wow, smooth. She's gone to politics. Who in their right mind would actually want to join a group called the Happy Club? Then, ladies and gentle fellows, I shall be off. See ya. Bye, Aiko. You too, Mitsaki. Have a good rest of the day, Yama. And with that, we barely managed to salvage the awkward atmosphere as we go our separate ways. I pull up this Cafe de la Paix on my phone and find that it's on the same street as KFC. Well, that makes this an easy walk. Ouch! Unless, of course, she's referring to the other Cafe de la Paix, which is on the faraway border of District 8. Might as well try the closest one first. Shigeri doesn't seem to be the type to go out of her way just to make me miserable. Rather, she doesn't seem like the type to inconvenience herself. There are cliques of academy students throughout the streets, girls immersed in superficial gossip, and guys exchanging ridiculous stares. Pass by a handful of police officers on the way. They nod courteously, but there's a shadow to their evaluating gazes. Keep my stride long and my steps quick as I round the corner to the denoted rendezvous point. When I first see the place, I have to double check my phone to make sure I didn't take a wrong turn somewhere. By the quaint, lovely name, I was expecting some charming variation of the polished, established Starbucks coffee house. See what they did there? Instead, I met with the definition of modest. Chip paint, dusty windows, and a swaying sign with 3 broken letters. Maybe this is Shigeri's ways of extracting vengeance. I take a deep breath before I enter the cafe. Surprisingly, the place is really decent on the inside. Sophisticated and sleek. The array of elegant furniture is punctuated by the black grand piano along the far wall. Delectable smell of butter and sugar drifts from the counter of the shop, where several intricate... God, I don't care! I take your order. Guess who? Come to think of it, I've never seen where she goes after class ends. Oh, of all people, it would be you. Consider it your lucky day. Just give me your order. This situation is just too good to pass up. Elizabeth, the cashier? You know, if not for the hat, like as far as uniforms go, I think the hat is just meant to be embarrassing. I don't know. I've always hated uniforms. Do enlighten me. How would such a wealthy, empowered young woman stoop to making lattes and waiting dishes? Work experience, obviously. Every successful person comes from humble beginnings. I might believe her, but the way she's averting her eyes is suspicious. So, why didn't your parents get you some cushy internship at your dream corporation? You know, some people have to earn their success instead of being spoon-fed by their parents. But being spoon-fed is so much easier. I've learned by now that comments like these will tick off Elizabeth more than actual insults. Sure enough, you're insufferable. Should I complain to customer service about an abusive cashier? Just order already. As I lazily glance over the pastry displays, a flicker of emotion catches my eye. Hello? You dirty bitch. It's the girl who always hangs around Elizabeth. An ordinary student settles into the corner, elbow propped on the table, eyes glinting in amusement. She absentmindedly twirls a pencil between her fingers. Her back is slouched, her smile carefree, but there's something that seems a little odd about her. Elizabeth seems to notice my switch of attention and clears her throat. Are you going to order, or are you going to waste my space like always? Oh, give him a moment, Beth. I glance at the book sheet that's lying open-faced on her table. Advanced English Syntax and Grammar Principles, version 3. It's the same text I have for English. She must also be a third year, but in a different class. Head tilted slightly, eyebrows raised just barely. I get the impression she's studying me just as hard as I'm studying her. Who are you? Isn't it courteous to introduce yourself before demanding my identity? As your buddy Lizzie has probably told you, courtesy isn't my strong suit. Oh, then what is? Nothing. Just a bit of friendly advice, Beth, but you may want to watch your step around this one. What makes you say that? Why, he's figured you out. This elicits an unusual reaction from Elizabeth. Bitten lips, fiddling hands, and an anxious shift of the eyes. Odd. I don't recall figuring out anything. Well, Yama, why don't you give Beth a little grace? Her eyes are twinkling at me challengingly, like she knows I don't know, but wants me to figure it out. How would you do that? Why isn't you taking Elizabeth's side? Fine, I'll apologize. Just don't tell everyone. Now I really have no clue what's going on. But I might as well go along with it. Yeah, why shouldn't I? Oh. She seems at a loss for words. I can't help but grin. Pay me? You know that I can't. Catches me off guard, but thankfully I'm able to hide my expression just in time. Interesting. She can't pay. That can only mean she's not as high and mighty as she pretends to be. Maybe her spending's restricted by her parents. Or maybe she's legitimately poor. This just gets better and better. So, it's that big a deal if everyone finds out. Don't even think about it. Yup, definitely not the rich, perfect princess that everyone was led to believe she was. Say pretty please with a cherry on top. Pretty pleased with a cherry on top. As begging goes, it's subpar, but I decided to let it go. I don't plan on making her life miserable. It's more of a power thing. The blackmail hanging over her head shall finally stop bothering me. Keep telling yourself that. I turn from the counter to survey the pastry case. Elizabeth's shoulders drop in relief. The girl at the table loses interest and returns to fiddling with her pencil. You never did tell me your name. Am I obliged to? As you said, it's common courtesy. When did I say it was courteous? Actually, I think you did. Or at least, you said something. You did say courteous. Isn't it courteous to introduce yourself before you demand my identity? When did I say it was courteous? 5 minutes ago, bitch. She brushes her pencil into her bag and slings it over her shoulder, winking at Elizabeth. I'll see you later, Beth. Nyama, play nice. She floats out of the cafe without another word, shutting the door softly behind her. Come to think of it, how does she know my name? Probably learned it from Elizabeth. Said Elizabeth brings up my order of 3 pastries and a smoothie, as I spend a few minutes pondering the strange girl. What's her name? Why do you want to know? Is it really that big of a deal? Elizabeth sighs in a clear exasperation. Her name is Natsuki Tanaka. There's that name that I said I wanted to remember. I don't think that was it, though. Tanaka. I don't know. Now you can hit on her. Congratulations. I lean over the counter until my face is an inch from hers. What makes you think she's the one I want to hit on? Elizabeth glances away, instinctively disturbed by my proximity. Right as I'm about to feel a rush of triumph, I catch a slight scent. Country lavender with a hint of vanilla. It's oddly magnetic. I'm suddenly bulldozed by sensory onslaught. I can see the curl of her long lashes, the gleam of her eyes, every perfectly tapered point of every hair, the subtle curve of her lips. I stagger backwards, fighting against the images in my head. I need to get a hold of myself. This is Elizabeth. She's always been pretty. Why let her mess with me now? In a shaky attempt to cover my slip-up, I shove a bill forward. Keep the change. Elizabeth elegantly plucks the bill from my hand, and before I can process what's happening, she's wrapped her fingers around my collar, pulling me forward. For a few painful seconds, she stays there, her lips an inch from my jawline. What change? You didn't give me enough in the first place. She releases me, and I glance at the bill I've handed her. Only 1,000 yen. Shit, she's right. I feel a blush flare at my cheeks as I slide another bill to her. The corners of her mouth pull up just slightly. Careful. Wouldn't want everyone to know that you're actually poor, would you? Yeah. She's genuinely amused as she passes me my order and bustles off to make my smoothie. I hate to admit it, she doesn't look bad when she smiles. Get a grip, Yama. This is Elizabeth. I hounded you all of last year. Elizabeth keeps butting into things that aren't her business. She believes everything's in control. Back to my senses, I select a butter croissant and throw the other 2 pastries in my backpack. There's not much to do, so I follow Elizabeth to the blenders. Apparently, she recovered because her face is set to its default disapproving scowl. What are you doing? Eating a croissant. Stop staring. You know, your workstation has windows for a reason. And the reason is not for you to stare at me like a pervert. What about an admiring fanboy? I mean, you're insufferable. I can't help but chuckle as a tinge of English leaks through her accent. So, are you actually from England? Why are you asking me all these questions? I'm bored and you're taking a long time to make my smoothie. Maybe I wouldn't be taking so long if you'd stop distracting me. Maybe you need to learn how to focus. She huffily slams the lid down on the blender and starts it up. The roar of the machine blurs the sound between us. Oh dear me, I would like some tea and crumpets. Elizabeth's shoulders tighten in clear annoyance. Tally-ho, old sport, what say you to some fish and chips? The blender picks up speed until it begins to whine. The weather is positively ghastly today, is it not? Then the blender stops. Elizabeth wordlessly pours the mixture into a cup and caps it, handing it over the window. Firstly, I was born and raised in Japan, just like everyone else. Second, just because you are not bilingual doesn't mean you have to mock people who are. She tears the wrapper off the end of a straw and sticks it roughly into the smoothie. Have a nice day. Come again. With that, she strides into the back room, leaving me by myself. I actually feel uneasy as I settle into a corner. I expected Elizabeth to lash out at me just like every other time, but she was calm, honest, even if clearly annoyed. Is her heritage a weak spot? Did I bring up something that should have been left alone? Furthermore, why am I letting it bother me? First time I played through this, I was like a lot more bothered that he was like, I don't know, treating her like this. I guess it's because I know how the story ends that, I don't know, like I was worried something bad would come of it, but I guess it doesn't. She never showed me mercy. Not on the days I just wanted to be left alone. Days where life almost wasn't worth it. Shouldn't I do the same? As I bite into my croissant, hoping to distract myself with its taste, the door of the cafe swings open. Yo, remember about yelling at me not to be late? We just had a whole situation go down, and now you're just getting here. Shigeri storms in, a tiny manifestation of fury as she clutches her phone against her ear, barking into its mouthpiece. As I previously explicated, the situation now merits further scrutiny. Have you compiled the informative analysis of the extraction methods? What? Your arrogant incompetence disgusts me. Trust you shall be receiving a visitation from your superior supervising officer within the next 24 hours. Good day. She angrily shuts her phone and stuffs it into her pocket. Only then do her eyes land on me. Ah, Ishiyama. Wait a minute. She does call me Ishiyama. God, I'm stupid. I made it through the entire last playthrough not realizing. I just thought she was calling me Ishimoto. It's like Yama Ishimoto. So Ishiyama, I guess, is like a mix of both of them. I don't know. I don't know Japanese. At last, someone with a manageable quantity of incompetence. Nice to see you too, I guess. Show me the receipt of your purchase. Purchase? For your pastries. I almost asked her why, but decided to just shut up and give her the receipt. She promptly marches to the counter, taps her wallet against the card receiver, and marches back with 1,300 yen and change. She slides this to my side. She slides this to my side of the table with an expectant look. You need me to buy coffee for you? This is reimbursement. As your superior, I'm treating you for this meeting. Thanks. I'm honestly surprised. She came across as the type of person to make me pay for both of us, actually. Now, regarding tonight's mission. Mission? Indeed. One of my asinine colleagues mislaid a pivotal dossier within the 6th district of Isamo. 6th out of 9 districts, also known as the District of Drugs, Gangs, and General Mayhem, where little children ought not go. I think I know where this is headed. Your assignment is to retrieve it tonight. Yeah, I saw that one coming. Why would I do this? The better inquiry is, what abhorrent consequence shall befall you if you do not? That stalls me for a moment, but I manage to think of a passable reply. Clearly nothing too terrible, since you need me to get it for you instead of going yourself. Funnily enough, instead of lashing out at this remark, Shigiri only seems impressed. Perhaps you'll pass after all. Pass? The dossier's whereabouts are currently being established. I shall contact you with additional instructions at a later time. I didn't even say I'd do this. I doubt that availability is an issue. How does she... No, I'm not even gonna ask. Not having a schedule conflict doesn't mean I'll take it. Then consider it your municipal burden. But I never agreed to... Do you not wish to be something? To be someone extraordinary? To do something significant with your inconsequential existence? Then it's settled. Stay in touch. She abruptly tilts her cap and storms out of the cafe, leaving me in stunned silence. I think I'm almost done. I return to my apartment, feeling an unusual kinship with my on-call military personnel. Oh, not mine, just with on-call military personnel. At this moment, everything is peaceful and quiet to the point of boredom. The more I wait, the antsier I get, like a ball of energy is tangled up inside me. I'd almost like to just go and get it over with, but District 6 is huge. There's no way I could find it without at least some general guidelines. I'd be going to the sketchiest area of the city with no backup, no support, no health insurance. This is probably illegal for Shigiri to do. Whatever, it'll be interesting. And helpful, apparently. Since I have some free time right now, maybe I should... Yes. We are caught up. Who should I text? Nobody, because we're gonna save it and pass this off to past Ben. And let him do whatever he was doing. But we're also gonna save it here because never mind, I already made it past this on my Governmecker fast forward route. So screw you guys, I'm out of here.